Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson, and Melissa's smiling already. I'm a stand-up comedian and the host of the aforementioned podcast, and alongside me in our state-of-the-art recording studio in downtown La Mesa, California, above Public Square Coffee, under renovations, is my lovely wife and co-host, CFO, tax extraordinaire. The taxes have been sent in.
That's not true, but I did have our tax appointment yesterday. You were on the phone. I was on the phone. Everyone kept coming to the door.
Multiple people came to the house.
Chaos.
It was chaos. We had a very, we had an incredible morning. So, like, it was Monday morning. We woke up. We got our kids to school. We got a couple things done. We hiked. We came home. We had breakfast. It was great. It was a fun time. And then the kids got home, and we were enjoying the fruits of a happy marriage and working at home and having some flexibility over your schedule. We showered. It was unbelievable. We had a great Monday morning. And then I lost a bunch of work and we were like, we're going to fill in some stuff. And then then
we thought we lost a check.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Nothing to panic, by the way, over losing work. That's just the nature of gig-based stuff. Yeah. You get it, Andy.
Yeah.
You're like,
I do.
And
don't
planning,
count your chickens before they hatch, baby. Or eggs before they hatch, eggs before they hatch.
We have planned 2024. As a comic, you'll probably plan 2024 three or four times.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
So the 9 months to a year ahead, like, we have it almost memorized.
Yeah.
Like, no, that we're holding this date, we're taking this date, and then we just
let me tell you about
over and over and over again.
Let me tell you about 2020. Before all the COVID stuff, in the fall of 2019, I was touring with a guy named John Christ. If you know that name, you know the next part of this.
About mid-November.
All those dates went away. Those dates were gone due to events outside of our control. And then we rebuilt the calendar, and we're like, we got it.
Yep.
Going down, I got this with this. I'm going to go out with Taysom. I'm going to get my own stuff. We got da-da-da-da. And then a global pandemic hit too.
4 years ago.
4 years ago. So, yeah, you're right. You do kind of, and then fast forward 7-8 months later, I'm performing in the back, literally in the back of trucks. I'm performing at drive-ins. I'm doing a backyard tour. We're doing anything and everything we can. So, I'm adaptable. So cool, Catwoman. But that's very well put.
There's Elastigirl.
No, that is definitely Catwoman.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
She says I'm flexible.
You better batten down the hatches.
Right,
you better batten down the hatches, Mr. Wayne. The storm is coming. You sound like you're looking forward to it. I'm adaptable. Something like that.
Anne Hathaway at her finest.
Hathaway was a good Catwoman.
Yeah, she was a good Catwoman.
I'm sorry. She was good.
People, I don't know what it is, but
that is a difficult line to, like,
she's
it's
great.
A cringy line, but yeah.
People want to hate Anne Hathaway. They really do. I don't know why, but people want to hate her, and I'm just telling you, if you stick around, she's kind of unhateable.
No, I think she's wonderful, and
she's just a theater kid. That's all. She's a theater kid. She's a full-on theater kid.
I was thinking of Okay, you know what?
You were thinking of Maggie Gyllenhaal.
I was thinking of Maggie Gyllenhaal, and then that makes me think of
who was Rachel?
Katie Holmes.
Holmes, yeah.
And it was
just straight up got fired.
It was a lot of like Bruce.
They're like, hey, we're gonna kill her the next movie. We just need a more dynamic actress.
I think she was probably going through too much because that was like the Tom Cruise time.
I don't think so. I think they were like, we need a better actress for this.
I appreciate all three of them. And
well, these are different
in those
roles,
movies.
by the way.
I know, but I don't mean I'm not gonna hate on women actors. Like I take it all back.
I take it all back. I can take it. Rachel.
I like them.
Yeah. Don't hate on it. I'm telling you, you can't hate on Anne. I've tried. It's because she's been in some cringe movies and she's done some cringe things. But she's also
writing.
How long has she been in the spotlight? When did Princess Diaries come out? Wasn't that was her
20 years?
Is that her first big thing?
Ish. Yeah.
She might have even done child stuff before that.
Princess Diaries was like 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway has been
almost 30 years.
Yeah.
No,
killing it. She hates women. Mel hates women.
No, I don't. That line is.
We got our episode
cringy.
title. Melissa hates women. That line is.
We
got our episode title. Melissa hates women. Melissa, it's.
I'm flexible.
Melissa,
that's the episode title.
It's 2022. You need to open up your ideas. The point
listen.
being, yesterday got wild.
And I'm flexible.
And you are flexible. You are.
Just kidding.
What a weekend.
I'm not. Yeah. Anyways, it was a great Monday morning. And because of your flexibility, it was a great Monday morning. What?
Stop.
Sorry, her family listens to this.
Stop.
I don't hate women like you do. Stop.
Well, good for you.
Anyway, so everything hits the fan.
Yeah, the yard. The yard guys came 2 days early.
Mel's not known for her stress management.
I've been trying to explain to you that the accountant stresses me out.
Yes, they're so that
and I deal with them all year.
Yeah, you do a great job.
And my girlfriend that bookkeeps for me, she's always like, "Okay, we're gonna get you ready."
Just give a shout out, Misty. You don't need to say your girlfriend, Misty. I'm here to lift up individuals.
And I'm
Misty,
like,
not just some girl.
Misty, help me with these 1099s. I'm getting stressed out.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, we can do it.
Yeah.
And she does. She's so consistent. And that's when we lost the check yesterday. I was like, Misty will find it.
Yeah. Yeah, we weren't sure where a check was, and that's great.
So it was just a lot.
Yeah.
Okay?
It makes me grateful for, our motto. Our motto in our house is small business, big family. That's what we are. Mm-hmm. And we're very grateful, and it's because of nobody other than fans. Like, you guys are growing this business, and you listen to the pod, and you spread the word, and you come to shows, and you buy merch, and all the things. So thank you. But it is like... that was such a perfect snapshot into where we're currently at. As like we had a chill morning. But I also, last week I was in Georgia. I came home for a track meet on Thursday. I woke up in San Diego on Wednesday. I flew to Georgia. I flew to Atlanta, drove 2 hours to a gig, did the gig, went back to the hotel, flew back to San Diego that day, caught the track meet, came home, went to bed, flew to Montana the next day.
4 nights of sleep.
Yeah, flew to Montana the next day. Didn't even go to my hotel from the airport. Flew to Montana. It's not easy to get to Kalispell, Montana. Yeah. Did the gig. Mm-hmm. Came home Saturday. Did a gig in San Diego. So it was busy. Yeah. So Monday is kind of our day off. So, but there was a snapshot there where I was on a call. This is our exact life. All 3 kids are home. No, 2 of the 3 kids are home. Mm-hmm. We are in between. Claire's just finished her reading, and because she gets home right from school and she reads. So, but I had to have kind of an emergency call. So I'm on a call with my manager and my 2 agents. You're on the call with the tax person.
Yeah.
Multiple people are knocking at the door, coming and going. You're like, hey, I got to pay this guy for this. We had some service. It was laundry or something. I had to pay a guy, and then a solicitor came because they're always like, by the way, that's the best time to be a renter. Anytime a solicitor shows up, renters, bye.
Can I speak to the homeowner? No.
No. That doesn't apply to us. So
bye.
It was chaos. But then and then it was over, and I sat down and we went and talked about our calls while Melissa pounded a bag of white cheddar Smart Pop. Smart Pop, yeah. She did that. Which is, as far as a coping thing to take in, about as healthy as it gets.
Yeah, I mean, I am so glad for accountants.
Yes.
They just make me feel very inferior.
Yeah.
And that's okay. I need him to know all the numbers, and I do the numbers.
Nobody knows the numbers like you do. Yeah.
But it's but I do it out of necessity, not out of knowledge and skill based.
Any of you who have
I took business classes.
Yeah, nobody's doubting your credentials. It's very hard. Anybody, I mean, Andy's with you on this.
I don't spend 80 hours a week looking at spreadsheets and the mental math he was doing and the percentages. I was just yeah, okay.
Mel, Mel, you don't need to justify how hard this is. Everyone listening knows. Or if they don't know, we had day jobs forever, and day jobs are you get the same amount of money every 2 weeks, and then your taxes are done.
Yeah, and then you're like, here's my W-2.
Yeah, exactly. I'll just do an example here. Let me take the month of February.
Our business had like 50 1099s.
So I can tell you in February, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different, 9 employers. I got checks from 9 different people. That was just gigs.
Yeah.
Not including Facebook, YouTube, pod ad, anything like that. So just money coming in, 12 plus different people coming in, organizations coming.
Yeah.
Now money going out. We pay Andy. We've got bookkeeper help. We've got people who help us with graphic design. Oh, we bought merch in February, so that's in.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a lot.
It's a lot of moving pieces. And I think the hard part too, I was explaining this to you.
But the good news is you are adaptable.
When you run a small business with your spouse, it just you're fluid.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of the
Adaptable.
What's the Swiss Army knife position. And so if you're just cleaning up cat puke, you're like, I don't work.
Yeah.
You know?
It is funny. You were talking about that earlier as we were walking up the stairs here, that sometimes it kind of like preys on some old insecurities of you're like, what do I do? And the reality is just say it what it is. You're the CFO of the business. That's what you are.
Well, and there's like a household manager, it's just like 10,000 fires that you put out every day.
You don't get a paycheck, but just say what it is. It's not an easy answer. Like, hey, I work for the business. You do.
Yeah, absolutely.
You work for the business.
It's very fluid, and even the kids will be like, "What did you do when we were at school today?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, "Where do I begin?" Like, I just have 20 tasks I did. That's okay.
I lectured the girls this morning today. They were in fine. They weren't even being bad. Like I opined for a while. I was like, do you understand how good you have it that you woke up to like a tray of sliced fruit waiting for you? You woke up and there was bowls of multiple colors of grapes and a sliced orange. You have no idea. And but when you have a good childhood, you're just like, cool, here's me my orange. I was like, you have no idea how good you have it. So, big family, small business. Like, we have a corner of our room. It's where we used to do this.
Yeah.
Where it is laundry. It's in this corner right here. It's laundry.
We have 2 chairs to zoom in.
It's where we do our Patreon Zoom. Patreon where you can get a little more from the pod and get a little more. St. Patrick's Day is our next Patreon
St. Patrick's
Zoom.
Day.
So get in on that.
Pacific time.
So you, in this little corner right here, there's what I call my quick close. Yeah. And it's in and out laundry. It's like, I'm going to fly with this. I'm going to wear this today. I'm going to wear this half a day, but I can't. So I have a good chunk of clothes. My airport pants, they don't get put away. Why?
It's like your travel suitcase. Like,
exactly.
Why would you
over there
put that away?
Is that? Yeah. It's also like miscellaneous stickers, merch.
Yeah.
All huge stacks of books. That's where all the books are.
Yeah.
There's I think there's a couple mics over there. It's just a ton of, and that's in our bedroom. That's
a foot away from our bed.
Yes. My suitcase.
We sleep on top of the books.
Yes. Yeah. Good lumbar support.
Yeah.
So, anyways, quite a Monday.
Quite a Monday.
Yeah. But yeah, there are certain jobs that it is kind of their nature, like police officers, like their nature, like, I'm going to speak frankly with you. So this is very clear.
Yes. Well, they have to be. If an accountant was being goofy,
nobody wants a silly, zany accountant.
Bottom line, give it to me,
Yeah. I don't want a funny surgeon.
No. You want it straight faced. I'm going to get this done.
Yes.
Correctly.
100%.
Yeah.
So, well, anyways.
Oh, but actually, this was funny. So we have to go through all the expenses, right? And at one of them, he's like, what is this? You know, one of our expense categories. Yeah. And I was like, mostly just like clown makeup and wigs.
You said that? I don't get it. Oh, you were telling a joke about me being oh.
Because we were talking about comedy, and he has like a podcast he follows and stuff.
Yeah.
And so then,
big surprise that our CPA loves Rogan. Yeah.
So yes, I was still goofy.
Yeah. I love it. That's another one. I'm like, again, I mean, I had that whole joke about it, but I mean, we walk into our accountant's office and I see a MAGA hat and I'm like, good. As it should be. He's like, I'm really trying to go down to Mothership. I'm like, good. That's great. I don't share all your beliefs, but please.
Well, actually,
make concerts a write-off.
The thing he said that I thought was the best was, I mean, you shouldn't be getting your news from podcasters and comics.
He said that?
He said that.
That's good.
And I was like, absolutely not.
Yeah. Except this one right here.
Or except when podcasts are actually journalists, because that's real.
Yeah. Well, that is true. And also, it's, sometimes the podcasts are interviewing journalists. So, but anyways, we're not that kind of podcast.
Listen.
But we did talk about conspiracy theories on this week's behind the scenes. So get in on that Patreon, baby.
We're just over here writing off our clown makeup.
Yeah, I get it now. That I took me a second. I just no, it's fine. I didn't get it.
You're like, why would you say that?
I just didn't think you would make such an insult out of
your work.
Yeah. I mean, those jokes have, significantly increased your net worth over the last few years, but clown makeup, it's great. So you hate women in the arts. We had a funny thing downstairs at Public Square as we walked in. Mel and I both clocked it right when we walked in. What did you say? There was like two girls just having coffee, and what did you say there? To women.
I don't remember.
You're like, a couple curly-haired artist types.
Yeah. They had like big curly hair.
Yeah.
And then, flowy outfits, and
both of us.
I'm gonna follow you guys.
Yeah. They left, and Mel's like, where are we going? We're leaving now? I thought the same thing. I walked in. I was like, what are you guys doing? Yeah, let's all hang out. You guys are cool.
Yeah.
Just like Mel's got the Montana hipster look. Yeah.
The coat of many colors.
Oh, yeah, your Technicolor dream coat? No, you're not the favorite child. Can it stay in, Mel?
Black sheep.
But your siblings don't hate you either. So there you go.
They're very nice to me. I'm saving face. Yes.
That was just a joke for you right there. Anyways, everybody, it was a fun weekend. I gotta admit, I didn't have any, I had shows. I had 3 shows. I did a Don't Tell show here in San Diego. They were like, hey, do you want a couple $100? And I was like, sure, I guess. And like, oh, we can also comp a room at the hotel. I'm like, deal. So we had that chat. And then Friday I did if you want to know what the Dustin Nickerson comedy life looks like, Wednesday I fly to Atlanta. I've been there before. It's at this like Windshape retreat center with an organization called Family First. It's just a bunch of couples retreat type situation. And I got there and there's like 40 couples. I was like, oh, this isn't very big. And it was actually like it's like a retreat center built by like the Cathys, like the Chick-fil-A people. I think at least like there's a statue of him and I think he's holding a sweet tea. It's funny. Yeah.
I think it's impressive that they did a couples retreat on a Wednesday night.
I agree with that actually. I think it's But
I guess kids are in school.
Yeah. I made a joke this time. I've done it a couple times before and they've like put me up there and I'm like, I don't want to be here with you guys. I don't want to be on couples retreat energy as the single dude. Just put me back at the AC Marriott by the airport, which has a direct tram, which I like so much there at Atlanta's Hartsfield. Someone told me, goes, heaven, it doesn't matter if you're going to or heaven and hell both have a connection through Atlanta, which is a pretty funny line. Yeah. And then I did like a women's event at a church up in Kalispell, Montana, which is fun. It was a good time. I prefer women's events so much more over men's events. Men's events are very like grunty and like, and like barbecue, and you're like, cool, this is fine. I like sports too, but like this isn't great comedy energy. Women are just so much less serious at those, you know. Yeah,
they can laugh.
Yeah.
I mean, I've said this before. Like laughing is kind of like a vulnerable emotion. Like people don't laugh if they're feeling insecure. Because like, oh, I don't want you to see me laugh at that, because it's kind of like the equivalent of like an amen. You've heard me say that before. Like I'm like, this is okay what this person's saying, and women are just so much more comfortable with that than men. And so it was great. It was a good time. And then Tom Papa was on the flight back, so I saw Tom Papa for a while. Yeah, and we talked to him for a little while. It was a good time. And but upcoming shows. This weekend I'm in the Northwest. All those shows are sold out. But Spokane, Thursday, Seattle, Friday and Saturday and Sunday. Then we roll into April. Syracuse is April 5th and 6th, and Rutherford, New Jersey is April 12th through 13th. Show at the Hollywood Improv on May 5th, and then this is an added show. Cheyenne, Wyoming, baby. Oh. First time going to Cheyenne at the Lincoln. So if you're anywhere near there, I'm going to be there before I go to Colorado Springs. That's May 16th, and then Fort Collins, Colorado is the 17th through the 19th. Then Des Moines, Naples, Tampa, Dania Beach, San Diego, Rosemont, Chicago, Huntsville, Nashville. Recently added Charleston, South Carolina is on August 9th, and then added today, that says Nashville, but I'll switch it to Houston here in a second. August 29th is going to be, we were talking about Nashville as I typed that.
Yeah.
August 29th is going to be Houston, and then Dallas, it's not on sale yet, is going to be the rest of that weekend, the 30th, 31st, and September 1st. So,
woo!
DustinNickerson.com.
Dallas has been waiting for you to
Dallas is good people.
Yeah.
They got the goods right there. She's got the looks.
Has it been 2
na na na
years?
na na? She's got the look. You remember that song?
I do.
Na na
Yes,
na na na.
we all know that
Na
song.
na 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 na.
I asked you a question.
Na 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 na. She's got the look.
She's got the look.
There you go. He vaguely remembers it. Yeah.
Like it's there, but I'm like, I don't. Yeah.
Yes, I have been back to the Addison
did.
Improv
Okay.
since the special I did a Sunday. This is my first full weekend there, so that
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Mel has been holding this. I got 2 tickets in about a month, and I'm not one usually to get tickets, but I have, and Mel is right here. I received a strongly worded letter from the DMV that Melissa is going to read to me right now.
I'm going to frame it. This is warning letter. That's the title.
And so I'm going to receive my retribution here very publicly, my punishment. Mel is going to read this letter to me.
Dear California driver, drivers with crashes and traffic convictions on their records are at a greater risk of causing future crashes. Your recent record of bad driving, see below, places you at an increased risk of causing crashes, injury, and death.
Oh my God.
We do not want you to suffer those consequences and want to help you avoid them. We understand that you may believe that you are a good driver, and yet your driving record is much worse than the average California driver. While you may be a good and safe driver most of the time, your record reflects at least momentarily lapses in driving judgment. At highway speeds, a moment of carelessness can become a tragedy. Good, caring people who make careless decisions while driving can cause injury or death. In our effort to urge you to drive safer, we are offering you a choice. You can choose to prevent further accidents from DMV by avoiding additional traffic convictions and by not causing any crashes. However, if you choose to continue your unsafe driving, the penalties will increase and eventually lead to probation, suspension, or revocation of your driving privilege. We believe you are capable of making a change to become a safer driver, but it is up to you to do so. If you do not want to change, Your driving will continue to present a risk to yourself and other road users. If you want to change and become a safer, more responsible driver, you can. We hope that you will decide to change, but the choice is yours. If there is a discrepancy in your driving record, you may contact the Sacramento Department of Motor Vehicles.
Wow.
Yep. This action is independent of any other action taken by the court or this department. They didn't even give you a sincerely. That was just the end. That was harshly worded.
That was very harshly worded. That was like a weird mix of like if Tony
vice principal.
If like Tony Robbins was mixed with Catholic shame.
Yes.
You can change.
Yeah, it really was like, you're
It's up to
terrible,
you.
you're a piece of crap, but you can change. It started off very Catholic shame and ended with very Tony Robbins, but both of which hurt my feelings.
Good, caring people can make careless decisions.
Oh,
DMV went to therapy.
yeah, I feel bad.
That's like 5 paragraphs.
That makes me want to like just go have a drink and get behind the wheel.
Dustin.
Just to take the edge off.
This was all caps.
Oh,
All
yeah.
caps and bold.
My favorite part was where they said, if you want to stop crashes, like you were intending to cause crashes.
Yeah. This was FYI, this was 2 tickets. 2 tickets.
We should probably just rework this language and give these letters out when our kids get in trouble.
This was effective parenting, yeah.
Good, caring people make hasty decisions
Yeah.
that affect others. Yeah.
And while you believe you're a good person,
I know that one was the worst part. Yeah, I know you think you're a good driver, but your indication says otherwise. Like, oh man.
I was waiting for the DMV to be like, we're proud of you.
Yeah.
However,
that was
we're sincerely disappointed.
this was the equivalent of, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. And you're like, oh.
I'm mad at your actions,
Also,
not you.
if you hate the sin, not the sinner. This is just, I mean, it really is like, hey, dude, if you don't slow down, you're going to kill a family. You're like, I don't know, this seems like a little heavy-handed. I was going 11 over. But, all right.
All right.
Warning letter.
The rebuke has been received.
I have been rebuked.
Yes.
Anyways.
So I was pretty excited to get that letter.
Hold on real quick. I'm going to roll a joint in this. Get behind the wheel.
So you're going to change? I think you actually have slowed down. I think you actually have slowed down.
The second ticket was like a bit of a wake-up call. I was like, what am I?
Yeah.
What am I doing
I always
here?
tell you, I'm like, it's not a video game.
You've never said that.
No, I do.
I always tell you.
Okay.
You thought it.
Okay, ready? I tell it to our son all the time, and I have definitely told that to you.
Yeah, well.
But it's okay if you don't remember.
You know what I told our kids? If you, one of the great things about being a dad is making your children cringe. And so when Melissa works the snack bar and I get to go, well, that's fitting because, mom is a snack. Dad! What? Yeah. And I get to walk up and like, hey, what you got in there? Dad! Yeah.
Well, everybody knows that a snack bar is a great way to make money. And if you have any kids in any activities, you've been asked to work a snack bar.
Yes.
So the premise is everybody donates the food and then you sell it back to each other.
Okay.
So it's like win-win.
Yeah.
Like no costs, like because it's at the school.
Yeah. And yet we're still paying for all of the cleats and the uniforms, and you're like, wait a minute. But, they got to take buses to the invites and stuff.
Everybody needs like 5 fundraisers per activity, there's no way around it.
If you're raising the money and your kid isn't getting invited to the invites on the weekend, you're probably like, where's this money going? My kid's not on that bus.
It's going to the 10 elite athletes. Yeah. Well, what happens?
This is going to the good kids, FYI.
What happens is like freshman year, you start football with your kid, with just like hope and dreams, and it's a great program. And so you have to gather 20 emails and everybody donates.
Right.
And what you don't realize is that you have 3 kids who probably do 3 or 4 activities a year. So that's about 8 fundraisers per kid per year. And you're going to be asking those same 20 people 8 times a year to fundraise.
You only got so many friends you can ask for something, you know.
So you really
They already came in for the ballot party.
Yeah.
You know? Was that on the episode or behind the scenes? I don't remember.
I think that was behind the scenes.
Okay, didn't remember.
So freshman year is a big year for getting the fundraising because everybody's like new and they're excited about high school.
Right.
So especially your first kid.
Yeah.
First kid in high school. So you're going to get a lot of funds for your team. And then the funds wane as the kids get older in the grades. So you're stocking on the freshmen to fund the seniors and then vice versa. Yeah. So here we are at the snack bar. I have like an hour. You're home. Yeah. So I'm like, I'll work an hour at the snack bar.
I'm still just making the kids cringe. Hey, can you see if they got MILF and cookies?
I am cashiering.
It's a milk and nookie.
Yeah.
In the hour I worked the snack bar, we had someone get mad. Get mad about the change that a child gave them. And it was for nachos and a drink. And they were missing about $4. And it was getting heated. And I had to step in and be like, it's all right. We'll get you. Yeah. No problem. You know, we don't have a cashier, like a cash register.
No.
We are just counting in our head and then giving out the cash.
Yeah.
And someone came up short and it wasn't a big deal. But it was a big deal.
Yeah.
It was too big of a deal.
It's a big deal in somebody's mind here.
We're like, you pay here, you pick up your nachos here.
Yeah.
There's 6 volunteers back here doing their best.
Yes.
And
a couple of them trying to get out of their shift, as always. It's so funny. It's so, you guys.
Customer service and like just dealing with people hasn't changed.
Right. The same as it ever was.
And I mean, if you can get mad at a child working for free in a youth sports snack bar.
Yeah.
You have bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
It was a kid ordering, though. And you just gotta.
It wasn't a kid.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't a kid.
Oh, but it was the kid working.
Kid was working.
Yeah. Everybody chill. Everybody. If it's the same thing as the dad yelling at the teenage umpire. You're like, could you chill? Could you just see a little outside of this moment right now? But, you know, it's important.
The same guy.
It is the same guy.
He's taking the cash and wrapping the game. Yeah, it's you just need to step back for a minute.
Yeah.
She's like, so what? You gave $4 extra to the track team.
Yeah.
And you got nachos.
Also, who's paying in cash? They take Venmo.
Totally.
Where'd you get that money? That's very funny.
But they're probably tracking them on Venmo, you know?
Oof. It does not matter.
Stay off there.
Stay off the radar.
Stay off the grid, baby.
Somebody will always, you know, push the envelope.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I hope this is a wake-up call.
Well, I like how you described to me how some people try and get out of their shift.
Yes. I've worked this snack bar, you know, every season.
You've been working
snack bars
10 years.
Yes. And what was fun about Little League was they let 14-year-olds work.
Yeah.
Which was nice.
Yeah.
They are good. It's a good gig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody appreciates a snow cone and the care that goes into making that more than a 14-year-old. 14-year-olds are like, I'm going to give you a good snow cone.
Yeah. I think that's great. And what happens is there's a sign-up list on an app that all the parents have. And they're, 5:45, 3:45, 6:45. Okay. You know. Yeah.
I'm familiar with sign-up lists.
So you've signed up, and then
check that you clean the bathroom at this hour.
They come to the front and they go, "Hey, it's my shift," and then you're like, oh, great. Why don't you come in and I'll show you the ropes because I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And then they slowly come around to the back, and then they don't talk to you because you've just said like, hey, take my spot.
Right.
And they check in with the other people. Mm-hmm. And then they go, you guys got this covered? It looks like you got this covered.
Right.
And then they walk away. And
seems like everything's good here. Yeah, we got it.
The person that has it covered is the person who set up the schedule.
Yeah.
Keeps the food in her car all week, the shelf-stable food, pulled pork in a crock pot, and will take all this food home at the end of the night.
Yeah.
She's got it covered, but she asked you to come do an hour.
Yeah.
And you signed up to do the hour.
And if anything, you're like, and then they show up, they're like, well, it looks like they kind of overscheduled. Seems like we got more hands on deck. Might be a little
just a bunch of metaphors.
Might be a little too many cooks in the kitchen. You're like, no, actually, the grill's out of the kitchen. You can just be here. Just talk. It's not like your kid's running right now, because when you're at a track meet, you get about, our kids run the long distance, so they're up there for a while, but we get 15 minutes of action over 4 hours, and that's as much as you're going to get.
It's 4 hours, and I did freak out in the snack bar. I was like, they're doing the 800, get back here.
You did freak out.
And it was the 400, and that was my mistake. But in the snack bar, you can't see everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't want you to miss that race.
Which I appreciate.
So it is like, if your kid's doing the 100, in 10 seconds, you could miss their whole race. Mm-hmm. So it is, it's a 4 hour gap, and you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
But it's so classic, and it happens every time. Mm-hmm. And, everyone can contribute how they can.
Listen, volunteering sucks. And you're like, we're
all parents. We're all like, doing our best.
Yeah. You're like, I don't know if I can get behind the snack bar one more time, or if I send an email. Volunteering in your kids' youth sports is awful. I'm not a fan. But you got to do it.
It's lose-lose. Someone will yell at you for not putting their kid in and get in an altercation.
Yes.
And you're like, and then your kid will get mad at you because you're coaching them too harshly, or, but the heart behind it is right.
Right.
Yeah. Even though, the worst comes out of people, unfortunately. Yeah. So, but you got to give them a pass. Like, hey, maybe they've had a hard day, and I can absorb that anger. I'm an adult.
Just give them their sour punches, because life gave them a sour punch today.
I should have just given them an extra tray of nachos. Like, oh.
Now we're talking.
Well, whoa.
Now we're talking.
Make up for that $4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, changing gears here. This is actually, it's relevant because this is something, and Andy, I sent you this article. This is something that I just texted it to you, that you get to see every time. Yeah, sorry. This is something you get to see whenever you're at the high school. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This was a New York Times article. Why are pants so big again?
Oh, I love how big this is.
And what's the latest swing from skinny to wide? Tells us about ourselves. Guys, adults don't know what pants to wear anymore, because we grew up in the baggy jean era. We were baggy jeans kids. The baggier, the better.
Swaggier.
I can fit both my siblings in each of these legs. Let's go. I got
more pockets, the better.
Yeah.
Airflow.
I got, yes. Let's go. I'm on my you don't even. So
the belt can be down to your knees.
Yes, 100%. And then everyone's like, "That's awful." And people, our parents would be like, "Here's, baggy jeans. Fashion is cyclical. It always comes." It was never as big as it was in the 90s. Right. I've seen the pictures of my parents, and nobody was wearing baggy jeans like we were in the 90s. They were so big. JNCOs were so cartoonishly huge.
They're like 10 pounds.
Yes. They're gigantic.
They're like the thickest.
And everyone made fun of us for it. And so we corrected.
Not functional.
Yes.
Can't walk.
And we corrected too far. We corrected to where the boys, to use your analogy, look like little Peter Pans.
Mm-hmm.
We were walking around with our
black hair, like at a point.
Yeah. The pointy, your hair
is charged.
Yeah, your hair was so pointy, it looked like a little Peter Pan hat, and the pants were so tight.
Pants.
You were just hook me to a rope and let me fly away to Neverland. But now our children have brought back baggy jeans, and making fun of our skinny jeans because skinny jeans are cringe now.
Yes.
But I don't know. But I also will look pathetic if I'm not trying to fit in with my kid.
No.
And they're wearing so baggy. But tight is uncomfortable. I didn't want to wear those in the. What do we wear? I don't know what jeans to wear.
We've already lost everything as millennials, and now we've lost skinny jeans. And I think men have a little bit. You've had a grace period, because 2020, throw the skinny jeans away for women.
Yes.
So we've done this boot cut and barrel and parachute pant and overalls and flares. We've been introduced and kind of forced out of our skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Over the last 3-4 years. And so you're like, hey, I know you need new jeans anyways because the pandemic happened, and do not buy skinny jeans.
Yeah. Wait a minute. You just solved it. You know why baggy jeans are back. Post-pandemic, baby. That's why. We all need bigger jeans.
But unfortunately, you don't have to. Okay, a small waist accentuates a huge jean.
Yes.
For women. So that is not ideal. Skinny jeans, you can always find a pair of jeans that kind of hides some midsection. Low rise is not that's the worst, and that's also back. So
low rise is back.
Low rise is back
with the thong.
Not with the with
the whale tail.
Yeah,
the whale tail.
Because when I think about
top, the tiny top, like a baby tee. I don't know about the thong. I could ask my children, but
please don't.
Yeah,
please.
I'd rather not
end this conversation right where you started. Do not. Yeah,
I'm just saying that I think the men have had a couple of years to be like, hey, keep wearing those skinny jeans.
Men's fashion is easier regardless, at least men who don't care about their fashion like me. Yeah,
I mean, I think the trouser pant has been a nice segue for women. But again, that's a small midsection. Yeah, so it's tough. It's tough.
The article goes on to talk about how Gen Z is wear whatever you want, be comfortable. It's all about individualism. And that is a very Gen Z sentiment. And millennials are like, oh, we don't know how to do that. Teach us your ways of self-comfort and individualism, Gen Z. We're from an era where you would get made fun of for what you wear or don't wear. Please teach us. Teach us. And they're like, we're just wearing what you used to wear. And you're like, but it was cool back then. Is it cool again now? Teach me to be comfortable in my own skin, Gen Z. Also, I'm sorry about your future.
I think it's good long term.
Gen Z is like, I have to be comfortable right now because this is all I have. Yeah. Just give me this moment of comfort right now. You guys have ruined our future, so let us enjoy your clothes at least. Millennials and boomers and Gen X have ruined Gen Z's future, so they're like, at least we're going to redeem your clothes. The rise of vintage is just Gen Z trying to take something back from us because we took everything from them.
And I think they look great. I think it's a great trend.
They've never looked great. They've never looked great.
No, but I love it for them.
I love it for them. Well, you know what they look good is they just, when you're young, everything looks kind of cool on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I think they're just pulling it off.
Yeah.
I love it for them.
I love Gen Z's commitment to comfort. I love that Gen Z is today is pajamas, Uggs, and a sweatshirt. And you're like, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that traditionally was kind of like a trailer park trashy mom look with a cigarette. Like that.
Yeah.
Historically, that was a stumble into 7-Eleven looking for lottery scratchers and some, I don't know, whatever, and a Mountain Dew and a cigarette, you know. But that's what you wore to take the SATs. Not that they have to take the SATs anymore.
They don't have to take those anymore.
Yeah.
Good for you, Gen Z.
Man, imagine Costco in about 20 years.
Oh, my God.
Booming like no one's business. You thought it was big now. Wait till Gen Z gets a hold of you.
Unbelievable. Well, those pants are the only ones big enough to steal stuff from Costco. So you can actually put...
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Loaves of bread in there.
Yeah.
Eggs.
Speaking of loaves of bread, guys, last week we talked about what's the worst spill, and you guys chimed in a couple of this. Please go join the Dustin Nickerson comedy fans group. It's so funny.
It's on
the
Facebook.
Comments are great. Go join it right there. I'm sure that's in the show notes. Yeah, the link to that.
Yeah.
So check that out. Julia Terry posted a survey. Worst thing to have spilled in the car. Personally, I agree with spilled milk and cereal. The options were spilled milk / cereal, smoothie / sugary stuff, Panera Bread Bowl, other. Please explain in the comments. My favorite was Damaris said, Melissa will delete this poll.
Yes.
Anything. Carrie said anything with ranch dressing. Jake said throwing up in the van. I mean, that's a classic. Throw up is absolutely one of them.
Yes.
But spilled milk cereal kind of got the overwhelming favorite. Now we got a couple email. I didn't.
I just thought of one.
What do you think of?
This is a good story, but I'll keep it brief. We once loaned our van out for a men's retreat, so that men took our van.
I don't know where the story's
Big
going.
Bear. And then the van came home, and we smelled something rancid. Rancid. We were like, "What is this?" A couple days went by.
I don't know. The story.
There was beef jerky that was left in the pocket of a seat in our van.
Oh, meat turn.
So this is a meat turning.
Yeah.
Which was up there.
Yeah.
So somebody had some beef jerky, did not dispose of it, left it in our van, and it rotted. And that was what we got for donating our car to a retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very fun. One of my favorite leave something in car stories. This isn't a spill. This was in 8th grade. This is where the order of where I met the Hoagland family. Melissa was the last. I met the twins first at like a leadership camp where we were all in ASB.
Yes.
And so I met them there, and then I met John,
My
brother
was a high school youth group intern.
Yes, and then later
college student.
Exactly, and then later I think I met you at a mall. No, technically, I ran into your sister.
My mom and sisters were at the mall, and you were kind of chasing them around.
No, I wasn't. I said hi to them.
You were stalking them.
Yeah. Chasing. I said hi. Hey, Sarah. We were friends.
I'm giving you.
Sarah's awesome. Have you ever met Sarah? She's fun to see again. You're like,
you were chasing.
I was chasing. I was like, hey, this is a friend I met at camp. It's great to see my new friend, Sarah. Gosh, you hate women. You were chasing them around.
You would.
And then later I met you. Well, I didn't meet you because you were like a prodigal. You weren't around church at that time.
I was busy.
You were dating secular boys. Barely going to youth group. But anyway, so this is gonna be hard for you to believe, but it was like a camp that was like a couple hours away.
No,
it wasn't. It was some camp I never went to. But me and the rest of my 8th grade ASB class, it was 2 of us. It was Janie Yu, who was president, me, who was VP, and then Gavin, who you remember Gavin, who was like treasurer or whatever the third one was.
Fun guy.
He was a fun guy. It's like, and we would do announcements together every day. It was super fun.
Yeah.
But Gavin had do you guys remember for a second there were Reese's like Butterfinger? They all made bites for a season.
Uh-huh.
And there's like a huge
chocolate
bag of them. And Gavin was like munching on them, and my dad drove us to it, and he's gonna come pick us up. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why both ways.
Both ways.
And Gavin was like, "I love these. You're not allowed to bring outside candy." And he's like, "But I'm gonna like save these for when we get back." And my dad ate them the second he left the van. My dad was eyeing him like, because my dad kept asking, he's like, "What are those Reeses Bites?" And he's like, "Yeah, they're like Reese's, but and they were a big bag. You know, it was like a 2-hour drive." And he's like, "What are they?" My dad kept asking questions. I was like, "Those Reeses are gone." And Gavin ate like maybe a fourth of the bag, and he was like, "So they taste just like Reese's?" He's like, "Yeah, but they're just like bites, and you can just really keep."
So like I could like drive and eat them.
And there was at one point like Gavin took a bite, and my dad goes, "Oh wow, good crunch to those."
So that was the gas money that Gavin
never
left.
Seen again. Never seen again. And I told Gavin, I go, "Those are gone, just so you know."
Yes.
And then Gavin had a laugh about it. He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Your dad's probably just eating them right now." It's like, I bet they didn't. I bet he didn't make it out of the campground before they were all gone. Those Reese's Bites were hard to stop eating. Anyway. And I remember asking my dad, and he goes, "Well, they would have melted." And I was like, I mean, that is a fair point, actually.
Yeah, summer camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, worst spills. This is a couple emails. Keep sending us. This was sent to dontmakemecomebackthere@gmail.com. Post these on the Facebook group, the different spills, and then email us at dontmakemecomebackthere@gmail.com as well. Worst spills. This one is from Dustin Daly. "Hey, Dustin and Mel. I definitely agree with the terribleness of a milky cereal spill. We've had some other wonderful ones too. Years ago, our fresh Costco-sized bottle of syrup fell and broke wide open at the base of the refrigerator. Ooh, that's a bad, worst spill ever. Takes forever to clean up, and we had
probably like 5 pounds of syrup. Yeah.
And we had lint-shaped footprints for weeks on the kitchen floor because the sticky residue kept pulling lint from our socks. A close second, or possibly tie, is laundry detergent.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that is a mess.
Yeah, similar scenario where we, as dedicated Costco shoppers, dropped a colossal sized container of liquid detergent in the front of the washer, exploding everywhere. Impossible to wipe up because it causes never-ending suds and a pain to move the washer to get all the creeps below. Thanks for the great show and hours of entertainment. Look forward to seeing you at the Crocodile Stage in Seattle. See you this weekend. And then this one is from Jamie, our friend. May I bring this to you? This is a friend of the pod and a friend. For worst spill. A crock pot full of beef stew spilling in your car.
Ooh.
No shampooing helped. After a few days, it smelled like rotting meat. Just driving around my Nissan Sentra around Federal Way, smelling like I've got a dead body riding shotgun. Felt on brand for Federal Way. It's like the episode of The Office where Kevin drops the chili.
That's it.
But in your car. Oh, good stuff. Well, here's to no spills, everybody.
We had so many spills this weekend. Yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah.
Full Sprite yesterday. Sticky, 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 sticky. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for tuning in. Have a great week. Have a great life. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hey folks, just want to give a special thank you to our As Essential as Oils patrons. That's our $25 a month and up level of patron. Thanks so much for giving to the pod and getting a little more. You are Averill Griffiths,
Adam Bush,
Allison Nelson,
Bonnie Galindo,
Carrie Teague,
Caroline Crimmins,
Code 2 Grow,
Courtney Eibling,
Demarius Diaz-Stevens,
Dan O,
Dave and Melissa Cox,
Dave Hoagland,
Dustin Daly,
Jason and Francis White,
Jessica Hanrahan,
Joshua and Nikki Platt,
Jordan Cowan,
Juliana Smith,
Lori Amos,
Matt and Sam Slosdom,
Michelle Carlson,
Nathan and Jennifer Merritt,
Nicole Carraz,
Rachel Wilson,
Rachel Kennedy,
Robert and Nellie Capen,
Stephen Menya,
and Tiffany Payne.
Thank you so much, everybody.